pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody read over the minutes and corrections. I didn't see anything, anybody?
I didn't have it.
Yeah. Okay. All the minutes are approved as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone recording? Anyone recording? Abby and Thomas Nace.
Hello.
Come on up. You can probably sit down, I guess you don't have plans.
I have copies if you guys don't.
I think we have everything.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I had some. I'm Abby, this is my husband Tom, and we
Hi.
have 17 and a half acres off of Blooming Grove. And we're looking to see if we could obtain a building right and subdivide for a small portion of the property. The plan is to build a house for my parents, so as they get older, we can help take care of them.
So, do you have a dwelling right, or you're asking for a dwelling right?
We'll need to obtain one, so that's part of what we don't know of how we can do that.
So you're, like obtain, you're like asking to try to get one?
Yes.
So you're,
Your acreage is 17.5.
Yeah, so how, you guys recently purchased the property, right?
yes, ma'am.
So in Codorus Township, based on your acreage, you're allotted so many building rights, is the general overview of how you get one. And with 17.5, you would be allotted 2. We did have a couple of questions for you about that. The first one, I think, was the size requirements,
Can you
correct?
go with that, yeah?
So the minimum, I don't have this, what's the square footage?
40,000
square feet.
To 1 acre, so you'd have to,
Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
just
Yeah.
under,
It'd
We
have to
have
be
a
a bigger
requirement
lot.
to be 40,000 square feet.
That's okay. We gave a general estimate of what we
Okay.
thought it would need to be though when we get further. Okay. 40,000 square feet.
and then the second question that was brought up is if you guys actually have any existing building rights, because it looks like in kind of what I was researching, that the property may have already been subdivided. That this lot up here was already using one of the building rights, and that was sold back in 2001 is when that appears to have been subdivided.
So therefore, when they use the building right, that's what we're trying to say. But you can research that, and make sure the recorder of deeds shows that. That's what
Okay.
we're looking at.
Yeah, just briefly looking through the tax map. The way the township operates, that's kind of your responsibility to confirm currently if you have a building right. So you would just need to go to York County.
I don't think we do, which is from my research with my realtor when we were buying it. So I was wondering if there is a way that we can obtain one other than,
Unfortunately not.
We have a by acreage, 0 to 7 gives you 1, 7 to 30 gives you 2. So your acreage is there, but because this was taken off, that
okay,
takes you down to just that one and your homestead.
okay,
And there is no additional dwelling. to-
okay.
Well, I mean, if you're neighboring a property that you could transfer one, but I don't know if anything.
I don't know, you're gonna have, if any of your neighbors would have a dwelling right, they would be willing, it has to be continuous land.
Yeah, they have to be touching your land.
Okay. Okay,
But if they were dead and were willing to sell, you could transfer it from theirs to yours.
okay, that's a good thought. Okay.
Just to make good friends with your neighbors.
Other than that,
We don't
it
really
would-
have many with that much land.
Other than that, it would be more of a hardship to like put a trailer in temporarily.
We do have a hardship for, you're saying it's for your parents? Is there a hardship there? I mean,
I mean, they're getting older, but I don't.
It would be, but I mean, to build a new house wouldn't really fit into that category. It'd be more like a trailer or
Yeah.
something temporary.
Okay.
and then once she's not living there anymore, they're not living there, it would have to be removed. That's
Okay.
called a hardship, and that would have to go through zoning hearing.
Yeah, they're the only two options I see you having.
Okay,
Very well.
maybe we'll look into the surrounding
Yeah,
lots.
look at that, and if they're, again, it has to be that they have a dwelling right remaining, that they'd be willing to sell these.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Beth Miller. That's me. That's you. Yours.
I can talk about it to
Go ahead,
you.
Yep.
Josh, all surveying, we prepared the plan, did the surveying for it. Yeah, I came in a while back about subdivision, we were initially maybe doing 2 lots, but now we're just doing one, the one on the west side up over the south side of Sticks Road. So just on the west side of the property, the parent tract, that is to be separated. We've got purple probes, I have the module here that needs to be signed, so that'll be another request to sign that, as well as request to approve the plan, recommend everything. So I believe everything has been addressed. I can go down through the comments, or if you guys looked at them, or I did do a response about everything. I didn't know if there's any additional questions, or if you had.
Do you have anything, Christine?
I don't think we had anything.
I didn't have anything else.
All I saw was just the normal stuff.
Administrative wise plans signed, fees paid,
Yeah.
new deeds written up once it's approved, so.
We kind of Xed out a lot of those things the last time with them being completed. Paul here is from CS Davidson, he didn't have any concerns, so. Do I have to do the planning module as far as a motion?
I thought, I'm not asking for waivers, I don't believe, so there's no waivers.
No waivers.
So I thought it was, and it's up to you guys, 2 different, again, recommend the DEP model to be signed, and recommend, all right, yeah, it's up to you.
For the signing of the, so yeah, I do normally make a motion to approve the planning module. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So planning module is approved. Approving the subdivision plan for Beth Miller, all in favor, say aye.
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 Cool, thank you. And then I think I saw the Winston, so the next supervisors is September 3rd at 7:30. So we'll need to go to that, and then they'll have the final say. I think in the meantime, we should get plans to get signed notarized. I think, are you going to be around at all this rest of the week? I don't know if you want to come by, we can always talk after. We can maybe, you can call in the office tomorrow. We can always get copies to you.
Do you have 5 copies here?
I think there are 5. We can, if you want to take those. I don't know if you want to keep them here at all. Have the paper in.
Either you want to sign them now or at the end of the meeting? Do you want them now?
Well, they're not signed,
they're
they're
not,
not
okay.
at all. I don't know how, again, if there's
We'll
always
wait till-
something or question, so we just make sure it's approved
Okay,
first.
yep, it's approved and ready for you.
Okay, so we'll take that, I guess, and we can always, you can get it signed notarized.
I'll give you any more.
Hey, any chance, did somebody drive a blue Subaru your lights go on? Sorry, we didn't interrupt.
That's fine, no, appreciate it. I'd rather you have
It's
someone
hard to
else-
look around the building, I don't know.
Somebody just left a minute ago.
Yeah, no, they were a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
No way?
Huh? Must be somebody back there, but I don't
Maybe it
know.
is.
Delivery or something, I don't know.
All right, Matt Hartenstein.
I don't know if you, do you want to take these and get them notarized and then drop them off?
No,
Or-
I'm just gonna come over tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds great. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everyone.
welcome.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Safe travels.
Matt Hartenstein, and we've been here before for Louisa and everything, so you know the property. Matt asked me about potentially cutting a lot off for himself and his wife and kids and everything. So, just give you I think we dropped off like a little sketch plan at one point, and I don't know if you have that, it should be hopefully there with the packet.
Are they
Yeah,
these,
that's
all of
it.
these? Yeah.
Yep.
All this.
Yeah.
Yep, there was one in particular I thought I had to get over here.
Go ahead and explain.
Well,
We
yeah,
need some
it's
explanation.
it's off of Johnson Road here,
Yeah.
that with the current contours about where, this would be better, see a little bit better with the contours, that seemed like this was really a good idea for a septic area, because anywhere along here is pretty steep. Now, of course, Louise, that's the third thing on my item list is about this, the variance and everything. But just a concept, again, if this, the variance and the subdivision goes through, great. But again, if not, then this would be, almost should do Matt's third, but either way.
So is this in case the other doesn't
No,
go through?
no, it could be, yeah, it's a 1 acre or 2 acre, well, it's 1.99, 2 acre lot, either way. If this line's removed, or it stayed, which we hope it does get removed, then it would be in this area where he would build a house. In order to do that, we'd have to create a lot around it. So that's the concept. I think really that triangle kind of wedge, this one is more of the concept we wanted to do. I thought I made the sketch of my own. It was just hand drawn. It was taken from this plan with the contours kind of showing where a lot layout might be. But I think that's the front runner of what he'd like to do. I know it'd be unconventional, a rectangle lot, but I believe with the lot width, it's the front setback. The lot width, minimum lot width is along the front setback line. So
Yeah,
to do
these would go down to a point, you wouldn't have your 200-foot road frontage.
I think maybe more of a panhandle might be what we want to do, but with getting a drive up there, we'd have to maybe come at an angle somehow. So we'd have to play around with that more or less. Again, a lot of unknowns, no perk and pros or anything done. I think before we get ahead of ourselves, put the cart in front of the horse and do all this work, was there anything that we're missing about, again, with, that point, the lot width at the front set, where
Well, and
It being
splitting up
2 acres.
farmland.
2 acres is 1.99 for an agricultural, is there anything granted? Because I know in other municipalities, you could go up to 2 with the slope, with the terrain of the
It
property.
would have to be a hardship.
Well, that's, I guess, maybe what I'm asking now is because due to the area with the steep slopes and to put a septic in this spot, that's really the reason why we need a little bit larger lot. So that's why but I guess that's always, we really have nothing formal in place, but it's more of, that's what we're envisioning. So we'd like to go for the 1.99 because of the steep terrain. To get up, you'd have to put a driveway, follow the contours to get up to this potential site where the house would go. And really, it really has to do with the septic. Where could you put a septic in that location, where you'd like to go?
And there are indeed building rights.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
I think I should have had one here.
You have it on there, but I'm just questioning, looking at a file here shows, and this
So-
dates back years
So
ago.
so an adjacent lot has 2 rights.
Right.
That's also,
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a wooded
And
lot.
there was
not-
one that was left over when we originally did subdivisions on the property, and it's floating wherever.
Yeah, the 100 acres has 1, the 8+ acres has 2.
I have 3 permitted, 3 were utilized. 1's in 1, so 1 would be,
Now, this paper, it says lots were used along Smith Road.
It's now Johnson Road.
Thank you, I
Yes.
wondered that.
Yes,
But there
there
says
is.
lots were used
There
there,
were 3 Smith Roads in Codorus Township.
so this
we
one
changed
became
this one.
Johnson. When did that, I don't remember that.
When they went over to an address.
We
got
had the
rid of
streets
the
and
box
we
number
weren't
and
RDs
RDs
anymore.
and the rest of it, yeah.
Okay, but now it says lots were used, so you're minusing those lots out.
I think they were separate parcels.
They
Those are
were,
separate parcels you purchased.
Yeah, like they were a
that
separate
was a
tract.
piece that I bought
Yeah,
just north and west of the farm.
That was separate from the farmland.
And it's got subdivided, and I took all 5 lots.
Where-
But I had 6, so.
Okay, so you still had the one that remained, that's on the,
Including the one that we live on, yes.
but your dwelling on yours counts as,
There's
It was, we had enough that we could do, and still got one left over, I don't remember.
So-
what it was for.
So the
As I
one left over is the
understand-
one you're living in.
as I understand, you cannot separate a lot without a building right, is that correct?
Yeah.
So the principal farmland lot has 1 building right.
but
It's
that's,
never been used, no, it's not part of,
Not his, that's
not part of
10
his
acres.
house.
That's the 10 acres
So-
we're trying to get the variance.
That's separate.
Separate.
So there's the the biggest parcel, whatever that is,
Nine
that has
acres.
one building right. Then there's an adjacent 8.5 acre lot that has two
That's when
rights.
we originally came in.
So what I figured was, if we could transfer one to the large parcel and then subdivide off that, and then there was remain one with the large parcel and one with the 8.5.
What happened is when I bought the farm, my father and I were in business together. And my wife and I purchased the house, spring house and 10 acres, separate. Everything else became part of the farm, which my father and I owned. And that's what had all of the lots that could go. So it was separated off then when we first bought the property.
Where your house is an 11 acres, the 69A. And then your 4A is that 9 acres of wooded that we discussed numerous times.
Yes.
Anything to add, Paul?
Nothing I'm seeing right off the top of my head.
So they'd have to make sure they have the road frontage.
Panhandles are allowed, correct? But, like, we just do a skinny 20-foot wide strip going up to the lot.
Doesn't it have to be 200?
Yeah, no, lot width, when you say, but that's the lot width of the front
What's the
setback.
road frontage?
But then,
That's what I'm trying to look at.
Yeah, the road frontage.
Yeah, I thought our ordinance said.
I thought it just said lot width, no lot width, and then it says lot width.
Well, there's a minimum road frontage it has to be.
Yeah, I saw that not long ago.
I must have missed that one.
So in my notes, I have section 200-40. It says it must have a 200
But
foot
that's,
width, but then the exception is included, and in the case of, this is interpretation, but if you don't have access, then the overall lot width has to be 200.
Yeah, what does it say, once under 504, the dwelling units, and then ceases, lot on which a new dwelling location shall contain at least 40,000 square foot, and must be at least 200 feet wide. But is that 200 feet wide at the house, like at the, you're paying it up 200 feet wide?
We've always understood it at the road.
I think, so, I think this lot is a panhandle up here. This piece here, I have to find that subdivision, I know that was part of the property at one point. So there's other examples of that, I don't know if anything changed, I wanna make sure. Yeah, here. Whirly did that back in 94. So I don't know if there's anything, in the notes about.
So you just have access.
It was just reference another survey, but I don't.
so here it says no building rights remaining at this property.
Right, again, I think that was a separate tract that was owned after the fact. I guess I have to go back to original 74 when everything was out there, what was out there. I think that was a separate parcel. What's like T?
Is that the tract up in the corner?
Yeah, where Worley did some work and then,
Yeah, that thing was so screwed up when we got it because
It's
it was totally undone and the family people had died. And they were trying to settle the estate.
because that's parcel 58B and the farms are 69.
Yeah,
It's a
69,
separate-
60.
Yeah, so it's a separate original parcel, parent tract of the thing, so. That had its own allocation of the rights back in 74. But there's an example of a panhandle lot. I just don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't say road frontage actually, it just says has to be 200 feet long.
So the whole thing has to be 200 feet wide?
Yeah.
The lot, yeah. 40,000 square feet and 200 feet wide, at least in the.
Is there any, yeah, I wonder if it says anything about like a length, like a depth, like a certain, because I know like, for in this different town, East Hopewell, there's parameters on panhandle lots, they have a whole section in that, so I didn't know if there's anything with that, or again, do we do a triangle wedge down to a point, or maybe like 20-foot wide at the road and then it comes up? Maybe we can expand on it further, but I just, while we're here, I thought, we're ready to talk about it.
So that access needs to be up, because yeah, it does drop off pretty good if I remember right. So probably whichever one would keep you closer to the acre size and.
I'm sure when we get to the point, we would come forward with a more formal, well, then again, I mean, we need perk and probes, and that'll be the factor, is that gonna pass in that certain location, and stack it up, and where can you put a well, where can you put your house and your stormwater and everything else, garage, so. I think we'd like to shoot for 1.9, we don't wanna go over 2 acres, clean and green and whatnot, but I understand there's the ordinance, let's keep it closer to an acre, but.
And that, in order to do that, part of it's have to go to zoning hearing.
To be bigger, or just ask for, just,
Yeah,
is that a supervisor's
We
thing?
usually
I
just,
guess?
if they can prove it, we usually grant it, but
Yeah,
we
just-
try to stick to the acre.
But because of the terrain, we as a planning commission can do that?
All we can do is recommend it to the supervisor.
And then as far as the 200 foot, that has to be still determined? So we
Well, I
clarify
just read it in the old section, I'm not good on the new
that.
book.
Makes sense.
Unless they change the language, the old section, it's not actually road frontage, it just has to be 200 foot wide.
Do you see, is that what you're?
That's what I'm seeing, is just the word lot width, not frontage.
That was the definition of it, but then again, yeah, that one is a prime example, it's just down the street, so.
Did you try to keep them all as close to 2 as possible?
Matt actually drew that up, so I think he was just getting a concept of.
Yeah, a lot of years around.
Yeah, whatever I calculated, I just put in, 1.9 is how many square feet, it's like 8270, 750, something like that.
Yeah, I went through all 5 of these and you're all around 81 to 82.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
the
so
same with that.
I would imagine we're probably gonna want it to be as close to 1 as possible, even with the hardship.
Yeah,
So if that means you gotta go back an extra 150 feet, we just make that.
yeah, really, whatever's feasible for a house and well and septic. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to maybe play around with some things. I mean, again, that's what we like to, but I know just getting up to that spot, it'll be, where are things gonna fall in place? I think, you have any other questions about anything?
No, I mean, they're like the dimensions, like what is it, that can't be no more than 2.5 times the width, I calculated that out. So,
I think there's usually a section about that, with a lot of depth. But yeah, again, 2 needs to be 200 feet, and then, we gotta have enough room in the back for things.
Yeah, there's minimum
Yeah.
requirements here.
Yeah. Yes.
250-17, or, 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you come by, play around with it and see what you can come up with that gets you closer to that 1 acre, and stays as close to all the other parameters, and then we can further review it.
Would that be just to grant over the acre, if we give, let's say 1.5 in that ballpark? Is that something we gotta go to supervisors and get them to formally okay that before we, submit to York County? And is that something I gotta probably put in the plan of, like almost a waiver more than anything?
All we would do is recommend the
Okay.
supervisors to do one way or the other, but they're
Okay.
gonna make their own decision.
Well, they have the final say on things, so I don't know if that'd be a good idea to,
Yeah.
then we have more of a formal sketch together and where we may wanna do the perk and probes if we want to do that. That may be a good idea to go to one meeting with something before we spend too much more into it. Yeah, I think you guys answered most of our questions about it.
I mean, I'll probably drive it before the next meeting, but if it's as steep as I remember it, it actually might, it doesn't look like it on these drawings.
Yeah, I'll have to drive past it tomorrow morning on the way to school.
I remember when it used to be dirt road, that rascal used to wash out, it's pretty steep there.
Yeah, no, it is deep there, I remember that too.
I think you have to come at an angle.
My gut would think that you could probably get to 1.5 acres anyhow, and maybe even up to you, but we try not to bend the rules too many times, or everybody's gonna want 2 acres, you know?
Sure, sure. All right, perfect, thanks. Then the next one, which is, I saw on the bottom of the agenda, zoning hearing schedule. Did you hear any more about if there's anything planned for that? It's nothing that's is pending or pending. The application's been submitted, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
for a formal recommendation for the
Okay.
planning commission, and we
Okay.
can move more forward
Yeah,
with that.
we'll have to, you
but
have
then-
advertising things.
Yes, yeah, and I'll definitely keep you
Yeah.
informed with that, yeah, for sure.
But from last time we were here about this project, it was about that, an ordinance, for, about, agricultural buildings, keeping with that. And if you see the application filled out, we feel like we justify this not being used for agricultural purposes, it's used for storage. And again, to correct the building of the septic, we own the same property, we want to make it, clean things up with, both properties are both owned the same owner. So that's what we're, going back through to request that, to go through the variance for that section to allow this to proceed further. That's the whole reason we're doing this, so.
So the buildings are staying with the house now then, instead of?
Right, so that, again, currently that's how it looks. This lot was in here, that's right up next to the house, and it's not, currently not conforming. So what's being done, this borderline is being created. This line's getting, currently, again, could have had a highlighted one like that, fancy. But this line's getting removed, this is the new line. This is gonna be the new line when it's all said and done. So it's 10.7, when it's all said and done, it's gonna be 10.7. Same acreage, we're just moving lines around to encompass the entire farmstead, homestead, the septic, the well house, and then all the ag buildings are gonna be in one property. And again, it's the same ownership, it's gonna stay that way, but to get this piece of Cross Road's gonna go to the farm piece, with no buildings.
And then this will be all vacant land.
Correct.
With one building right, supposedly.
Yes. And then there's an adjoining property that the hard subs own, they have two.
Correct.
So that's,
Up there.
yeah.
Yeah, right there.
B. That was, I knew that was the holdup with that section. But again, they're not farming currently, so it's really just storage. And I think you said it was an office, they use it for an office space, so it's,
I'm retired.
Yeah,
I don't need
so-
an office.
I think, that lot line, of course, doesn't conform with any of the setbacks too. I don't know, that was created like that back in the day, I don't know. And again, it's the same ownership, I don't know if that's the reason why.
Wasn't one of the other plans you brought it, split it up?
Well, originally, so I originally came in, if you remember back,
Yeah,
it was a little bit bigger, it was like 12 acres.
Yeah.
And we came in here,
I thought so.
we discussed that section, we're like, it's again, not an issue. And they were like, well, we want to even swap. So I changed it back to 10. We reduced, I think it was this line and maybe it was out in here in the field and there's this, basin. So we just trimmed it up. It's the same acreage when it's all said and
And I
done.
think you were splitting up the buildings the last time too.
Last time, yeah.
Yeah, now,
I think that was the issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
So that's what Jeff was explaining to you.
The buildings are gonna be all in one parcel.
Yep, that's the goal.
Now,
now.
but back then it wasn't.
No, that was always the goal.
Yeah.
It was always the goal to get it all on one parcel.
Yeah, like,
We split them originally
They're
because
currently split.
yes, it's separate parcels right now.
You don't want them split.
because originally it was where we lived, it's one parcel, and the other is a business.
Yeah, like,
here's some, I think we're saying the same thing but different thing. Originally, you do have a house over there and you have the barns on the 94.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what Jeff's issue
Right,
was.
that's-
Taking them off of the 94.
right.
That's concerned with removing the agricultural buildings from the agricultural land.
Correct.
That was his issue.
Yeah, which is
And then
what
the
you're
argument is that we
doing.
don't do any agriculture, we rent out the land, we have other people farm it for years.
Well, but to me, this cleans up some of the old arguments that we've had years ago where you can't put a building on a lot without a house being there because it could be used for storage of anything, chemicals.
This would be getting all the buildings together.
Yeah, this, I would think this,
Yeah, I would,
I mean, do you even need a zoning hearing for that?
Yeah, because it's still going
I wish
against,
we did, but yeah.
it's still going against what this says. That's why they're asking for this.
ordinance.
I think it
Well,
was,
It should be an easy decision, I would think.
yeah, I think it was up to the zoning officer, and he had an issue with, there was no definition of ag buildings,
Okay,
That
I
was an
remember
issue.
that now, yeah.
right? So I think it was ultimately his decision. If he would have said, no problem, then zoning hearing board wouldn't be an issue, but he took the position where, yeah, there's no definition, so he can't make a, determination on it. So we were going forward ahead with the zoning hearing board to request that, to clean things up.
I agree with you, I think that's what it should be looked at, cleaned up.
yeah, so if you want the recommendation from us for the supervisors, do we all
Yeah.
agree to make a recommendation?
Well, this
on
is,
it?
I guess I have a question, and it might just be uncanny timing, because it did mention no new dwelling lots proposed, but then we were just talking about
Yeah.
putting a dwelling lot on the property.
No new ones, there is
It'd
one
be-
currently.
There would be no,
Okay,
again, it would be a separate subdivision plan.
Okay.
That's what was submitted. And again, Matt may change his mind tomorrow and say, maybe it's too much money, I'm not gonna do it. So that, it's more of a sketch, we're thought about doing that, but that'd be
Okay.
a separate situation. We'd have to, again, transfer the building right and everything else to do that.
Yeah, well, if you do have one, then I mean, they'll have the right to use it somewhere, if they ever chose
If
to.
we choose to
Yeah.
subdivide.
I don't have any other comments?
Nothing.
And I mean, they're right too, if they ever wanted to transfer one from the wooded lot, I don't see what the argument would be.
So, joining.
Not a good neighbor, I promise.
So as far as I think, this time, it sounds like every avenue they're going down is the right avenues.
All right, so do we make a recommendation that the plan goes to the supervisors with our blessing?
I'll make a recommendation.
I'll second.
All in favor, give a consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Perfect,
Plan or the application?
Oh, I should say application.
The application.
Sorry. Thank you, that's right.
Yeah, so that's the next step though, is that, so we need to go to supervisors to get their recommendation for the zoning hearing board? Or is that we just go to the zoning hearing board, they get, we hopefully get the yes, that's fine, and then go to the
I
supervisor?
think only the planning commission gives a recommendation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
okay,
planning,
so
then to zoning
zoning
hearing,
hearing.
then to supervisors.
Okay, so
Okay,
there's a
yep.
step in between, you gotta go to zoning hearing
Zoning hearing will be
first.
next.
So,
Yep.
perfect, okay, well, I guess keeping it, it's in the loop when that
Yep.
meeting is, and
I will,
we'll be here. All right, cool.
Thank you. Good?
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's the module,
Okay.
take that down, and I'll get her to drop that off, when she signs it, so, all right, thanks again.
All right, thanks. All right, we're on with the solar ordinance. Everybody have some time to read it.
We did.
Andy's not actually here, so I'm not sure how we have any comments about it.
I
I
got the
know,
right one, mine all says draft, yours don't say draft.
Mine said draft, the one I was looking at, did it change?
looks like the same.
What do you say, I
What's
look
the
like a
date on it?
draft?
You look like a draft. I don't have that one.
Every page of mine pretty much does.
Really give me mine?
Yeah.
Does everybody else's have a draft on it?
I wasted all that damn minutes.
Yep.
It was mine at work.
I mean, I read over some things, and with Andy not being here, I don't know that we'll be able to discuss. I highlighted some things as far as what they were requiring. The only thing, and I know, Jason, I think you were the one that brought it up, this doesn't actually reference anything for just homeowners.
No.
This is all
And
for,
I believe that was brought up by the homeowners that are here.
okay.
That we
It doesn't-
didn't qualify, yeah.
I think I'm looking at the same one, ordinance number 26. Utility grade solar ordinance? Okay. I don't have draft on mine, that's just the one I got before. Yeah, these don't make any mention of
No.
what you would do on a homeowner. Doesn't talk about rooftop, talks mainly about ground mounted. If you add up all the requirements of having an access road around the solar system, a fence, screening, you end up with the total area. Well, take mine for instance, I have a solar array on my farm now, and it's 1/10 of an acre footprint. If I add up all the things that are required around it, it's 1.5 acres that would be taken out of production. So it's for a homeowner that's got a 1 acre, 2 acre lot, it's not practical. You basically eliminated what they could do.
Can
Plus-
we qualify?
It could be qualified, I think, in either footprint or production, kilowatt
Kilowatt
production.
hours.
Yeah. My recommendation would be like 50 kilowatts and above would be considered commercial. It mentions in here that solar systems that are hooked to the grid and transfer power back, well, they all do.
Yeah.
They're all hooked up, and when you overproduce during the day, if you're away at work or something and you're not using electricity, it's all going back to the grid. And it doesn't clarify that it did in one spot that if it's for commercial purposes, in other words, that's the whole idea of the system is to supply the grid, then these things should apply. But if its primary purpose is to serve the household, then I think we need another set of rules, or else we need to say, clarify that this does not apply to that instance.
Yeah.
Part of this that I read, I think, it references a solar energy facility, which is primarily used for off-site use,
Yeah.
which is kind of what I took this as
Agreed.
being for, not for.
Well, it was in the definition, but it wasn't anywhere in the requirements. And so it didn't, and then the
So-
title of it is utility grade solar ordinance.
So
But
this
again,
says, this says regulations and criteria, section 3 is solar energy facilities, which by definition is primarily for off-site use.
Yeah, they kept using SEF.
SDF.
Yeah, SDF is solar energy facility.
Mhm.
So it's all of section 3 is specifically, the way I interpret it is specifically referencing those facilities for off-site use.
Okay.
So you're basically not only regulating commercial.
I think we need to talk to Andy and see if there's something separate that,
Well,
or that we just,
yeah, I mean, that's the way I read it. I understand their point.
Well, I don't know if you purchase your own, but I know the solar company that did mine, I couldn't go over 10% of my last year's usage. So I had a limit of how big I could put on mine. That was a law or a rule or something.
of theirs, the utility companies.
I don't remember who he said it was, but because I wanted to put more on since I had the space, but he said I can't go over 10% of your current year's usage.
Did you install yours yourself or did you have
No,
somebody
I
put
had
them
somebody
in?
put it in.
Were there any requirements then that they said you couldn't go over a certain size?
The electric company said I couldn't go over the size of the transformer,
Okay,
Yeah, you
so,
have to have an agreement with the electric company.
yeah, which is in here. But again, and it should apply to a homeowner situation as well. You need Meta's approval or whoever it is, Adams Electric.
You can't hook to the grid.
Yeah, I mean, we can ask Andy if he can either add some other sort of clarification. I mean, that's the way I read it, but maybe he can word it a little differently.
Include or separate.
Is there another section in there that deals with?
Residential
homeowner,
applications,
I think we would need to add something for that.
which I mean, he can copy over a lot of some of the details and specs in here, but he'd have to reword some of it.
Yeah, I had a list of questions and kind of stuff to review, but do you think we should table it until Andy's here? Because a lot of it's gonna be stuff he's gonna have to answer.
Yeah, I think maybe we better just not having him here, we won't probably get too far
Yeah.
with it.
I mean-
Is he on vacation, Lily, did you think?
Yeah,
Just didn't
it was all
answer.
last week and then today
He
and,
just didn't get,
yeah.
Every third month.
I guess my biggest question is, the prime agricultural soils, does the ordinance allow, is it going to allow it to be
I thought of
built
that
on there?
too.
And do we have like an updated map of that, or a map that we can reference of what areas?
because it doesn't reference, somewhere I did read though, that between commercial and ag, somewhere in here I thought it did reference commercial and ag.
We have soil maps.
3B2, I think, 3.B.2, I think it referenced it somewhere.
Somewhere I did.
We have soil maps that are pretty big.
I think it talks about the USDA, that's in here.
The following low impact site preparations shall be utilized, and then it did mention,
It said it somewhere, sure it is. I usually have everything underlined.
that was my biggest thing, is are we gonna allow these?
Where they're actually allowed.
Yeah,
All right, I'll make that note also.
Well, it says it on the second page.
Where is it? I know I.
Prime,
oh, it says, so on this one, it
Yeah,
says, solar equipment shall be limited to 20% of the total development disturbed area containing prime agricultural soils. And that's on, yeah, section,
that's right behind the first page, it's just soil, the first, second, and third
That's
class.
yeah.
definitions.
It's on
That's fine.
3B, the ground mounted SEF, and then under item 2A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is that 20% of the total lot area or 20% of what? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
20%
20% of the total
of the prime-
disturbed area.
Disturbed area containing prime ag soils.
And that's as defined in the ordinance and comprehensive map, or comprehensive plan. So that's my biggest concern, is I don't want these taking over all of our farmland.
Do you have anything else, Christine?
I got a whole list, I'll save it for next month.
Anybody else want to comment on it?
Well, and I don't know, I mean, I know how much is on mine, and I'm thinking, when you drive by these big fields with all of them, I'm thinking, well, I eat up pretty big chunks. I wonder how many houses they actually really do.
You mean the one,
I'm just saying, like the government says, they're not really as efficient, especially
Wow.
windmills, as we want to believe they are,
windmills is kind of a thing of the past.
but then I don't know what to believe when it comes to the government.
I don't think any of us do.
Yeah, I'd also be curious to see what other townships ordinance looks like as well.
You mean for, in general, this or for homeowners?
More of the commercial side,
And I think that might kind of read through this from.
yeah.
Yeah, I know the whole time I was reading through it, it seemed there's awful big stuff, so
Yeah.
probably needs to add for homeowners for sure.
I mean, I'd have to look, but I don't think there's many residential setups for that, like,
Isn't it?
ordinances. Not that I know of. I mean, commercially,
But not for residential. I really,
not that I can think of, because we hired a guy that used to sell solar systems. They would plop them in wherever he could.
But they're usually on a roof, right?
Yeah, they're,
so they're on the homeowners.
yeah, correct.
So they're not really taking up land.
Right.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
is where they might get away with, you know, or do
I-
some of the,
A lot of this was talking about land and ground.
That's right, it's more commercial based, like what you have back here by Dollar General.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what this is all about.
Correct.
Okay.
He's just gotta clarify more than just the one
Right.
quick sentence.
All right, well, we'll get with Andy with that.
I think if you put a lower limit on the production amount, that would,
Mhm.
anybody under that would be fine.
Going by kilowatts.
Yeah, by kilowatts. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll discuss that more with Andy.
Yeah, and then most of that stuff goes to your building code versus zoning stuff.
Public comment?
I have a question. I didn't think we allowed transfer of dwelling rights unless they were contiguous and under same ownership. I thought they had to be contiguous tracts, but I'm still under same ownership.
Right now, those all are under the same
Which
ownership. right now.
application are we talking about?
The
Hardin?
very first couple.
Well, that's, I think
No.
he made a quick, Brian made a quick statement about they'd have to buy it. And then,
But you still couldn't
I thought it was all
transfer.
just
You'd have to-
continuous.
Yeah, I thought it was just continuous.
Yeah, I don't think
Not
it's
same
same
ownership. I don't remember that.
In the event two or more parcels are in common ownership and are contiguous one another, the owner may transfer.
wouldn't, oh, you're saying if the parents owned it?
No, I never remembered that it actually had to be the same ownership.
But if he owns, if they would buy the let's just say the property below them has a building right, if they would buy that, they could transfer it.
She's saying that the people
I think
buying
I
it,
don't
they'd be buying
think,
from.
because I inquired a while back for somebody with Megan about it, and she said that as long as they were touching,
Continuous, but
It
not
was
same ownership.
okay.
'Cause that wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it's because of the 74 ordinance, they were trying to keep them all in one area. I don't think we allow whether,
I'd have to see if that's,
I mean, it's,
where's
Right.
that? Is that in the, what page is that in?
it's.
Just to
I'm
save me the
still-
time, I mean, I can
Yeah,
look it up,
it's-
but
I'm in the old section, it's section 5041.
yeah.
And the first up, maybe transferred, but I'm pretty,
Yeah, see, I don't,
So the issue would come when
Because
they
they
would
don't
then go to build the lot, the
well,
house and the lot. is what
they
you're
don't
saying.
own, like Hartenstein's own all the adjoining properties. They can transfer
But
theirs, but
he would have to, with these subdivisions, are they moving into a separate name? Because all of that
Yeah.
should have to be settled
Right,
before
before.
he does that subdivision.
So he'd have to own the son's house,
He'd have to,
and then Nasus would
whatever
have to
they're
own the mom's
doing,
No,
house.
yeah,
that's
actually-
Hartenstein.
No, I know, I'm just saying,
Okay.
they would have to be
Yes.
owned by who owns, so
Yes.
the Nasus would
But I don't
have
think
to own the
that's their
parents'
they,
house.
they could sell them ground and move and do an in-laws quarters, the young couple.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an option instead of having an actual separate lot, because that's a lot for the neighbor to actually say, yeah, I'm gonna sell you a,
and if they even have one.
All right, I'm not sure they're gonna
yeah,
have
and
anything down with
see,
that.
I think it was always, the same ownership and contiguous,
We'll check into that.
Yeah.
so.
I
understand
don't
what
think
you're
they're
saying.
gonna have much luck anyways
I
with
don't think
somebody wanting
they
to
have-
sell one.
Well, I
But
just mean for
for future,
future,
yeah.
Yeah.
and for Hartman signs, even though they're names are the same, they're different ownership.
They used to put a value on them though at one time, so if you were selling it to yourself, I mean, why would you pay for it? So I'm pretty sure it can be from another.
I thought so too. I don't remember it that has the same ownership, but we'll look into that. Any other public comment?
Yeah, speaking of that, I think the sawmill out there transferred a right in order to allow the
Yes,
sawmill.
they went through zoning hearing.
Was that their, they had
Yeah.
a special exception, but that wasn't their own
They
building right?
weren't contiguous, they
Yeah.
weren't side by side, so we
Okay.
had to go to zoning hearing for that.
Yep.
Anyone else? Meeting adjourned.